I gave 6 AI image generators the exact same prompt. The results were not close. One of them nailed it, 2 faked it, and 1 spelled the word coffee with a missing F in giant letters across the cup. So before you pay for the wrong one, let me save you the $40 and the afternoon. By the end, you'll know which generator to actually open in 2026, depending on what you're making. We're judging 6 of them: Midjourney, ChatGPT's image model, GPT-Image, Google's Gemini, the one everyone calls Nano Banana, FLUX, Ideogram, and Adobe Firefly. 7 things matter and nothing else. How well it follows your prompt, photorealism, text inside the image, editing, speed, price, and whether you can legally sell what it makes. No, they're all amazing. They're not. Some are bad at the one thing you need, and I'll show you exactly which. Quick lay of the land, because these tools are not playing the same game. Midjourney is the artist. It's been the look people copy for years. GPT-Image is the one inside ChatGPT, so it's the one most people already have open. Nano Banana is Google's, and it turned into the editing favorite almost overnight. FLUX comes from Black Forest Labs. It's the one developers reach for because you can run it yourself and bend it however you like. Ideogram has one obsession, and that obsession is text. Firefly is Adobe's, and it cares about one thing more than looks: staying out of court. The field used to be a dozen toys that all made the same dreamy blob. It isn't anymore. Each of these is now clearly best at something and clearly worse at something else. So I ran the same prompts into all 6 over and over for a week. Here's where each one actually lands. First test. Does it do what you said? I wrote prompts with 5 specific things in them and counted how many survived. A red bicycle leaning on a blue door, exactly 3 oranges on the step, no people, rain. 5 things. Count them in the result. GPT-Image won this one, and it wasn't a debate. It gave me 3 oranges. 3. The blue door, the rain, no people, all there. Midjourney gave me a gorgeous photo with 5 oranges and a person I never asked for, because Midjourney makes the pretty version of your idea, not your actual idea. I ran a second prompt, a desk shot with a specific object in each corner, and the pattern held. GPT-Image placed things where I said. Midjourney rearranged my room because it looked better that way. Nano Banana followed closely and is faster about it. FLUX is solid if you write tight, literal prompts. It rewards precision. Firefly is fine. Ideogram is fine. The takeaway: if your prompt is a checklist and every item matters, GPT-Image is the one that listens. Midjourney negotiates with you, and it usually wins the argument. Now, does it look real? Not good for AI real. Midjourney still wins the beauty contest, and I went in wanting to dethrone it. Skin has pores, light behaves, photos look shot, not generated. But here's the honest catch. Midjourney is so stylish it over-glamorizes everything. Ask for an ordinary middle-aged guy in a kitchen, and you get a male model with cinematic lighting. That's great for a poster and wrong for anything that's supposed to feel real. FLUX is the surprise of the whole test. Its realism is right behind Midjourney, and it looks less produced, more like a real phone photo with slightly boring light, which is sometimes exactly what you want. GPT-Image is convincing but a little glossy. That faint plastic sheen on skin you start to notice once I point it out. Nano Banana is close behind. Firefly trails on raw realism, and you'll feel it most on faces. They go slightly waxy. And yes, I checked hands. We're mostly past the 6-finger era. Mostly. I still got 1 extra thumb out of about 30 portraits, and it wasn't from who you'd expect. One more thing under realism that people forget: resolution and aspect ratio. Midjourney and FLUX give you the cleanest, high-resolution output straight away. GPT-Image is locked to a few shapes and softer detail, so you'll be upscaling. If you need a wide banner or a tall phone wallpaper at print quality, that matters more than the pretty demo. This next test is where most of them quietly fall apart. Text, real words, on a poster, a logo, a label. Ideogram is the king here, and it isn't close. I made a full event poster, a headline, a date, and small print at the bottom, and every word was spelled right on the first try. That is still genuinely rare. I pushed it further with a fake coffee shop logo, 2 words and a tagline, and it held. GPT-Image is genuinely good at text now too. Good enough for most social posts and thumbnails. Nano Banana handles short text well. Midjourney? Better than it was, and still gambles the moment you go past 3 words. FLUX 1.1 is decent for short phrases and falls apart on a paragraph. Firefly is okay, not a typography tool. The cup that said coffee with a missing F, by the way, that was Midjourney. Beautiful cup. Couldn't spell the drink. If words on the image are the job, you only have one real answer, and it's Ideogram. Now, the criterion that changed everything in 2026, and most best generator videos skip it entirely: editing. Generating one nice image is easy now. Changing one thing without wrecking the rest is the hard part, and it's where the real work lives. Nano Banana owns this, full stop. I took one character and said, same person. Now in a denim jacket, now holding a coffee, now at night on a balcony. The face stayed the same person every single time. That used to be impossible without a whole training pipeline. Then I handed it 2 reference photos, a face and a jacket, and it combined them cleanly. That's the trick that makes it feel less like a slot machine and more like a tool. GPT-Image edits conversationally too, and it's great. You just talk to it, but it's a touch slower, and it sometimes drifts the face on the 3rd or 4th edit. Firefly's generative fill inside Photoshop is still the cleanest for surgical fixes on a real photo. Remove a tourist, extend a sky, paint out a logo. It's precise because you're painting the exact area. Midjourney added an editor, and it's fine, not its strength. FLUX can do real in-painting with the right setup, but that's a developer's answer, not a tap on your phone. Ideogram, not really its job. If you iterate, if you build a character or a brand and need it to stay consistent across 20 images, Nano Banana is the daily driver, and nothing else is close. 3 quick ones that decide real life. Speed, price, and the legal part. Speed first. Nano Banana and FLUX are the fast ones, near instant, a few seconds. Midjourney is quick. GPT-Image is the slow one. You'll wait 20-30 seconds, especially when it's busy, and that adds up when you're trying 10 variations. Price. FLUX is the value pick by a mile. Cheap per image through the API, often a couple of cents, and the open versions you can run on your own machine are basically free if you've got the hardware. Ideogram and Nano Banana are cheap and generous on their paid tiers. Midjourney starts around $10 a month, and the look is worth it if beauty is your job. GPT-Image rides inside your ChatGPT plan, so if you already pay for that, you already have it. Firefly uses a credit system that runs out faster than you'd like, and topping up gets pricey. Now the boring part that actually matters if this is for work: commercial use. Firefly is the only one trained only on licensed and Adobe stock content, and Adobe will legally indemnify you if a client ever gets sued over an image. That sounds dull until a brand's legal team asks you in writing where this picture came from. I had exactly that happen on a client job. Every tool here makes nicer images than Firefly, and Firefly was still the only one I could legally hand over. For a personal project, I'd never open it. For a paying corporate client, it's sometimes the only safe answer in the room. The others let you sell your work on their paid plans, but they won't put that promise in a contract. Before I give you the picks, one honest admission. The tool I quietly stopped opening this year was Midjourney, and I love Midjourney. Not because it got worse, it's still the most beautiful. Because the others got fast and editable, and most of my actual work is iterate, fix, ship, not frame one perfect painting. That's the whole story of this category right now. Pretty stopped being enough. So who wins? It depends on the job, and here's the cheat sheet. Best looking images, art, mood, anything that needs to be beautiful. Midjourney. Need it to follow a precise brief with 10 details. GPT-Image. Editing, character consistency, daily iteration. Nano Banana. Posters, logos, anything with real words on it. Ideogram, developers, control, self-hosting, lowest cost at scale. FLUX, corporate work that has to be legally bulletproof. Firefly. 6 tools, 6 different winners. That's the honest answer almost nobody gives you, because it's harder to sell than one shiny number 1. But you came for one pick. So if you can only open one in 2026, start with Nano Banana. Here's my reasoning, and I held out on this for a while. It's not the most beautiful, Midjourney is. It's not the most obedient, GPT-Image is. But it's fast, it's cheap, it edits like nothing else, and it's good enough at everything that you stop tool hopping. For about 90% of real work, that combination beats winning any single category by a hair. If your whole job is gorgeous art, pay for Midjourney instead, no argument. If you mostly make posters and logos, it's Ideogram. If a lawyer reads your contracts, it's Firefly. Match the tool to the job, and you'll never overpay for the wrong one again. Quick recap: Nano Banana to start, Midjourney for beauty, GPT-Image when the brief is strict, Ideogram for text, FLUX for builders and budgets, Firefly when a lawyer is involved. Links to all 6 are below, including the free tiers, so test them on your own prompt before you pay a cent. And if this saved you a wasted subscription, subscribe. I run these on real work so you get the verdict, not the hype. Next, I'm taking a single brand from nothing to a full launch. Logo, posters, product shots, ads, using only these tools and one consistent character. We'll see which ones survive a real deadline instead of a pretty demo. That one's going to expose a couple of them. See you there.